Hello, it's Louis. I just made a video a little while ago about the moon landing. It wasn't really as big as this one's gonna be, but it was just kind of bringing up some points. And I was thinking conspiracies. I don't usually follow them. There's very, very few that I believe in. Uh, Moon landing just happens to be one of them. One of them that I do not believe in is JFK assassination. Now, many people think the number one conspiracy theorist thing is the grassy knoll. And there are two reasons people believe in the grassy knoll. One, the magic bullet. If you don't know what the magic bullet is, which is a lot of people, surprisingly enough, thought I was going to kill myself when I heard all that. The magic bullet was the second. It was the second of three shots fired by Lee Harvey Oswald. It went into the back of Kennedy's neck, through his throat, right there-ish, which made him kind of, what you see in the, whatever the fuck the guy's name is, the Z word, I'll call him, his video, the only home video to show the entire assassination. He goes like this. I don't know why he goes like this, but he does. He goes like this. You see him go like that, and at the same time you see Connolly, who is right in front of him, go and turn away and like grab him. So he's like, he's obviously in pain because the bullet that went into the back of Kennedy's neck and through his throat went into Connolly's back, out his chest, breaking a rib, into his wrist. I believe it broke a bone in his wrist as well. Came out his wrist and went into his leg, and fell out later on the stretcher at the hospital. Now, that is one magic fucking bullet, which is why it's called the magic bullet. People believe that because of how the bullet went and the trajectory, it would have, like if the car was here, the bullet would come like this. It wouldn't be a straight shot, so it couldn't have made all those wounds. It couldn't even hit Connolly. Here's the reason: in that particular car, Connolly wasn't sitting like, let's say, Connolly wasn't sitting here. He was sitting here, and actually down. So it was perfect for the shot. He was right in line. Now, how could it do all those turns and stuff? Well, it started to tumble when it went through Kennedy, hitting one of Connolly's ribs when it went into his back, bounced it. Sorry, now I'm kind of fucked up. Bounced it to the right, into his right wrist, breaking a bone there, which made it bounce back down through his wrist again and into his leg. That has actually been proven by reenactments. I can't. It was either Discovery or the History Channel that showed it. Conspiracy to the Test is a show that I saw. I'm pretty sure it was that one that actually did this. Actually repeated the shot, almost got it perfect. How pristine that bullet was is also a big thing. Which is not. It's warped in the middle. If you see in the middle, it is pretty pristine for what the bullet should most likely be, what people think. But it is warped in the middle and is pretty kind of defeated. It's pretty. It's not in great shape. It's not a pristine bullet like everybody says. Okay. Now, if that couldn't happen, let's pretend that couldn't happen. It was impossible. It hadn't been proven. How did the guy from the grassy knoll have anything to do with it? Now, you can argue the bullet would have hit his back of his neck, through his throat, maybe it went into his back and out his chest. But it wouldn't go into his wrist, out his wrist, and into his leg. Well, if the guy from the grassy knoll is shooting him, he'd have to shoot it through the door, hit his wrist, out his wrist, into his leg. Correct? So shouldn't there be a bullet hole in the door of the car? No, there isn't though. And the arm is behind the door, obviously. It's not like way up here. And maybe some people argue the top of the overpasses they go under right after the assassination. Somebody was shooting from up there. There was actually a tree there at one point blocking the shot. They tested this as well, just showing where it would be. Also in a, I can't remember what the fuck they're called, like a sewer type thing. off to the side of the road, tried to shoot him from there. This is mostly the Kennedy actual fatal shot, the third shot, and that wouldn't even have an angle. But the number 2 reason the grassy knoll, or actually it's probably the number 1 reason the grassy knoll is considered the spot of the real assassin, the second shooter, is the reason of Kennedy's head. Now, if you've seen the film, you know that Kennedy's head explodes and goes back. It goes back and to the left. It goes back and to the left. I cannot explain. Now, the CSI, or FBI, somebody, probably with an I in their name, explains it as when you get shot, your body can fly anywhere. If you get shot in the chest, you can still fly forward. I don't know if I believe that. But the thing is, his head went back and to the left. It exploded. Now, the reason that he could have still done it, Lee Harvey Oswald still could have done it, was the shot did not hit the back of his head. It hit right here, skimmed along, like barely going in, shooting out, which made the head and the skull explode. With, now my personal belief, I don't know if this is scientifically correct, if it was from the grassy knoll, it probably would have just made like a bullet hole, not a huge explosion, because it went through, it had enough force just to dislodge the rest of the skull. And it just, the skull didn't have enough thing to hang on to. So. But anyway, I'm going to get a lot of shit about that maybe. But anyway, then his head probably should have gone forward and to the left, if that were to be, if Lee Harvey Oswald would be the shooter. That's what people say. Well, there are pictures of that day, and there's a whole bunch of film. There's a whole bunch of film, whole bunch of pictures. And there's one picture, I can't remember who did it, I don't remember names very well, had made this shot. Just instinctively, she took the shot, but it was the exact second, the exact millisecond Kennedy was being shot. That was the very second of the fatal blow. Now this just happened to be, car is right here. Let's make it so you guys can see it better. Car's driving like this. Here's the grassy knoll close to you. Actually, let's make the grassy knoll over here. So the car's driving like this along. It doesn't matter. They have a perfect shot of a fucking grassy knoll. That's my point. That is my point. They have the perfect shot of the grassy knoll. They take the picture right at that second. And it's that second. So shouldn't there be a bullet being fired? Like just a smoke, a spark of the bullet being fired. You'd think so. Or, something. The light of the spark, something lighting up. You should see the shot at the grassy knoll, but you don't. Now, maybe that's not, maybe I'm just wrong. I mean, they said this in the movie, so bring it up in the show, so bring it up with them, but maybe that's wrong. Bullets don't make the spark, they don't make smoke. This ain't the Civil War. Well, still, wouldn't you be able to see the person? Now, in defense, that is a little bit underexposed. As a photographer, it looks like a stop underexposed. Maybe maybe like 2/3 of a stop. It's about, I'd say, a stop underexposed. So you lose shadow. You lose detail in the shadow. Now they again repeated this picture. I don't know how much they underexposed it. You can still make out the shape of a human in their picture. You cannot make out the shape of a human in the real picture. Now, they say that, oh, there's this badge. He's the badged man, or he is the umbrella man. There is no man there. And I'm running out of time on this video. There will be a part 2 coming up with this in like 10 minutes. Going a little bit more over the conspiracy. So, let's take a short break, and I'll see you in a little bit.